By definition, the measure of center is the value at the center or middle of a data set. There are various measures of center, and they are the mean, median, mode, and mid-range. Now the mean has a couple different ones, so we're going to go over each one, and each one means something a little bit different. So the first we're going to have is the sample mean, and the sample mean is denoted as this with an X with a bar over it, which is read as X bar. Its definition just means that this measure of center is found by adding the sample, and you have to be careful, it's the sample data values, and dividing by the sum of the number of data values. So the formula to compute for X bar, very simple. It's just the sum of all your X values or all your particular values divided by the number of values. So if you see this little Greek letter here, that's just the Greek letter for sigma, and it just means to add up all the values of X, or the sum of X. So let's say we're given X equals 774, 649, 1210, 546, 431, and 612, and we're going to find the mean. Well, first we can tell that there are 6 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so n equals 6. And now we need to find the sum. That's what the sigma means, sum of all the numbers. So what is the sum of all the numbers? Well, it's going to be 774 plus 649 plus 1210 plus 546 plus 431 plus 612, which will give you 4,222. Now we're going to divide the sum by the total number of numbers. So it's going to be 4,222 divided by 6, which will give you 703.7. So the sample mean, X bar, is 703.7. Now the other kind of mean is called a population mean, and its notation is used as this here, which is mu. It's the Greek letter, so we use Greek letters typically for populations. Now, the definition here is the measure of centers by adding the population data values as opposed to the previous one, which was the sample data values. But just like with before, you divide the sum by the number of data values. So to compute it, again, it's just going to be the sum of all the X values divided by the total number of values. In this case, we're using a capital N because capital N represents the total number of population values. But you compute it the exact same way as we did the sample mean, and you'll get your result. The next measure of center is called the median. And this measure of center is the middle value when the original data values are arranged in order of increasing. That means from smallest to largest. And how it's found depends on how many values you actually have. So there's 2 things you can do. If there's an odd amount of values, there's 3, 5, 7, 9, something like that, an odd number of values, the median is the number that's located exactly in the middle of the list. Now, if there's an even amount, 2, 4, 6, 8, something like that, the median is the sum of the 2 middle values divided by 2. So you average the 2 middle values. Now let's look at an example of each. So for odd, we have 51, 63, 36, 43, 34, 62, 73, 79, 53. You got to put them in order. In this case, this is our order. And since it's an odd amount, we want to go into the middle, the very middle, which is right here at 51. So the median of an odd amount of values is always the middle value. So in this case, 51 is our median. Now, what if it's an even amount? So 51, 63, actually it's all the exact same numbers, but I just put 79 at the end. So what you do is you got to put them in order, which is here. Now, since it's even, we need the middle 2 values, and the middle 2 values are right here, 51 and 53. So we're going to take 51 and 53, and we're going to do 51 plus 53. We'll add them together, divide by 2, and we're going to get 52. So the median for an even amount is the sum of the middle 2 divided by 2, which is 52 in this case. So be careful whether it's even or odd. It does matter and can be very tricky if you just overlook that. The next measure of center is the mode, and this is honestly one of the easier ones to do. So this measure of center is a value or values that occur most often. If no values repeat, then there is no mode. And it is possible to have more than one mode. If two or more values occur with the same greatest frequency, then each value is the mode. So let's say we have this set of values, 19, 84, 37, 19, 47, 2, 5, 102, 39. We can see that 19 occurs twice. So since it's the only one that occurs twice, it is our only mode. But if we had another value, say 47, just as an aside, well, we see that 47 occurs twice. If that's the case, you would have 19 and 47 as the mode. So if two numbers occur more than once, like this, will occur the most, I should say, then those are the mode. But remember, if there is no number that occurs more often than any of the others, then there is no mode. The last measure of center is the mid-range. And this measure of center is the value midway between the maximum and the minimum values of the original data set. So to get it, you take the max and min, you add them together, then divide by 2. So the formula here is just what I said. Take the maximum value, add it to the minimum value, divide by 2. So if we have this data set here, 51, 63, 36, 43, 34, 62, 73, 39, 53, we need to find our max and min, which I've color-coded for you, nice and easy. 73 is our max, 34 is our min. So we just take the two, add them together, then divide by 2. And so the mid-range here would be 53.5.